Katy Tur, MSNBC host. We had an epic takedown of Facebook VP on taking down the president's lies, its president tweets. Let's take a listen to this because she did a great job with it. Take a look at this.
You know your Facebook users. You know them well. You also know that many of them, especially the supporters of Donald Trump, don't trust media outlets, don't trust fact checkers, don't trust other campaigns to go and correct the record. Their primary source of information is social media, is Facebook. They go there, they go to the president's page, and they take that as gospel. Right now on the president's page, he's saying a number of things that are dangerous and flat out wrong about this election. He says because of mail-in ballots, 2020 will be the most rigged election in our nation's history. That is not true, and it's dangerous misinformation about the election. He says Democrats will destroy our suburbs. Again, dangerous misinformation. Corrupt Joe Biden wants to defund our police. He doesn't. He's never said he wanted to defund the police. Corrupt Joe Biden has confirmed that he would give unlimited health care to illegal immigrants. I mean, he hasn't said that. This is dangerous misinformation, especially the top two are about the mail-in ballots and the rigged election. That is contrary to what, I'm sorry, is fact. And to expect Facebook users to go to fact checkers or to rely on the news media, I think you're asking a lot. Why not just go in and correct it yourself or not allow it on your website when it's being shared so frequently?
Well, actually, on your first screenshot, you'll see that we have done precisely that this morning, that under the new policy that we've announced this morning, we have already applied a new label, which didn't exist before, which is not neutral. It says very clearly that mail-in balloting has a history of trustworthiness in US elections, and that's what's predicted this time around. So we are actually taking an unprecedented step. We are applying a label, in this case, to the president's post, but it could be other people, where they discuss voting methods. And we say very clearly to users, as the post appears on their feed, look, the mail-in voting, mail-in ballots have a long history of trustworthiness in US elections, and that's predicted to be the same this time as well. So that is a very good example, as it happens, of our new policy in action this very morning over the last few hours. Look, I totally accept that there are always going to be people who say you should go further, you should remove everything that people question or don't like. Other people who say that we take down too much.
It's not questioning or don't. I'm sorry, Nick, I'm going to interrupt here. That's not questioning or not what you don't like. This is stuff that is dangerous. It's dangerous to our democracy, and it is false. Adding a label is not really going to do much to somebody who doesn't believe anybody but Donald Trump. And there are thousands, if not millions, of those voters out there who are going to your site and these pages on your site for primary information, not to mention what gets shared, not even from these political pages, these official political pages, but the content that gets shared among your users. Adding a label, again, like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound.
Well, I disagree with that strongly. The evidence shows very clearly that actually having a clear label right on the face of a post is very visible to users. Users do respond to that. So I don't accept the argument.
But why not just take it down if it's false, if it's dangerously false? Why not just take it down?
For a very simple reason. There is a totally legitimate space in an open, free society for people to debate different methods of voting. It's been, as you know, people have, on all sides of the aisle, by the way, not just Republicans, Democrats as well, have had debates about the virtues and vices of mail-in balloting as opposed to in-person voting. It would be very odd indeed, and I suspect many people would feel quite unsettled by this, if a private company was going to seek to eliminate discussion and sometimes legitimate discussion about different methods of voting, including in this exceptional time of pandemic. So what we're doing is we will remove, and we do, by the way, we've removed a number of posts from Donald Trump and indeed others over the last several weeks and months. And of course we do that. So for instance, as we've confirmed this morning, if someone says that if you vote, you will get COVID, we will remove that. But in other instances where, by the way, different states, even different counties in different states have different methods of voting, it is not the role of a private Silicon Valley company to just eliminate all discussion about the twists and turns of those different systems. What we are doing, I've started to do this morning, is very prominently say to people, when it comes to mail-in balloting in particular, that this is a method of voting which has a long history of trustworthiness in the US, and it's predicted to be the same.
Nick, with all due respect, this is not a debate about about what is the best type of voting or the easiest way to vote or what someone might think is a more trustworthy way to vote. The president is saying outright that the election will be rigged because of mail-in ballots. There are officials across this country who are super concerned about what that might lead to on Election Day, and that sort of information, misinformation, disinformation, is being spread on your site. One more question. The president has now just tried to clarify what he said yesterday in North Carolina about telling people to vote by mail and then to go to their polling place and vote again. He's now saying go to your polling place and ask if your mail-in ballot has been tabulated. That way you'll know if the mail-in system works. If it hasn't been tabulated, or they say it has not, go in and vote. Here's the problem. A lot of these places don't start tabulating these ballots until Election Day, until the day of the polls. So it's just not possible to go to a polling place and say, have you tabulated my ballot, and have that poll worker be able to look up that information. You're not allowed to vote twice in this country. It is a felony. It is voter fraud. And the president is putting that information out there. He's the president of the United States. There are many people who will believe that, regardless of a fact check or a label that you might put on Facebook. Why not just take it down?
So if what he said in the video, I think we're going to lose many of your viewers, I'm afraid, because many might be not aware of the difference between what he said in a television interview yesterday and this post, which are different. But if he had said in a post what he said in that video yesterday, where he appeared to be saying, encouraging people to vote twice, we would remove that, because you're quite right, that is simply not allowed on our platform. However, the debates about whether once one has voted by mail, whether one can then check whether that vote has been counted before the election day is completed, that is a important but subtly different thing, which is why we've applied this label. Now, I accept that you're saying, yes, but you should remove both, not just only remove one and apply a label to another. I would simply say in reply that it is in a country where the voting methods vary as much as they do, from state to state, even from county to county, is exceptionally difficult sometimes to decide where to draw the line. We've been very clear where we draw the line. We have removed content from the president and others where that line is crossed. And we are now, as of today, in an unprecedented move, putting a very, very prominent label, reassuring people, because people want to be reassured that voting is safe and fair and is something they can do come November the 4th.
It's unprecedented, but these are unprecedented times that we're living in. Nick Clegg, thank you so much for joining us. I will quibble. I think our viewers are well able to keep up with this conversation and do find it as interesting and as important as certainly I do. Nick, thanks for joining us.
Now, that is what you call an interview. That's a journalist at work, because these are things that should have been challenged in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. We have to challenge how we get information to people and how we allow manufactured realities. We have to find a way to get around that. And what Katy did was good exposure, and credit to Facebook for sending his VP to what they had to have known, given Katy's record, that he was going to be drilled. Excellent work. I'm Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, an independent news program. I post several news videos of interest every day. I ask you so kindly to subscribe to my channel, and please leave me some comments. Thank you very much.